Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. So, we're getting into the thick of things. We had a great discussion on here just not too long ago, right? Talking about finances, how many persons save, how many persons budget, how many persons plan, how many persons conserve. But we want to get down to the ding dong of things. And we have a guest today who will be coming to share with us. Listen, I'm so ready. I hope you have your pen and papers, because we're going to be getting information and we're going to be having conversation. So, our guest today is Mr. Marvin Douglas. Now, I am going to invite Mr. Douglas up, and I trust that. Can we all see Mr. Douglas? Mr. Douglas, can you see me?
I can see you clearly.
Praise God. It is good. And we want to talk about money today because, locks, let us talk about the issues. As Christians, sometimes that's not a major thing. We just don't spend wisely and we say the Lord will provide. Mm? But today we want to have some discussion. Now, this is just the beginning of our discussion because for the rest of the month, we will be talking to individuals from the same organization, and I'm going to tell them what it is. I'm going to allow you, Mr. Douglas, to tell us who you are, your company, and a little bit about Marvin. We'd love to know who Marvin is. So please introduce yourself to us and the listeners and myself.
All right. Good morning to you, Minister, and good morning to all of your listeners. It's indeed a pleasure to be sharing with you this morning. And ironically, it's recently I've been having some conversations with persons from my church, Liberty for Living Ministries International,
Mhm.
um, Senior Pastor Rowan Wade and Marshall Wade. And I've been saying, I feel this prompting, so to speak, to start doing some teaching on finances. I've been having the conversations, and then, can I say, out of the blue, a member
Not
of
out
my
of the
team,
blue, man. The Lord set it up. It's not out of
the
the
Lord
blue.
set it up, right? One spirit, right?
Mhm.
I would then have been invited to say, hey, you know something? Minister Renee has this thing going, has this program going, and she's delving into this particular topic. So I we're inviting you to be a part of it. And I'm thinking, boy, God, easy. Just ease me into the thing. You just throw me off in the deep end. But all right, he doesn't give us more than we can manage, right? He gives
That's
us
it.
what we
And I
propose.
think I have the confidence that you're capable.
All right, awesome. So you had asked who is Marvin. As
Yes.
I would have said earlier, Marvin, I consider myself a servant of the Most High, son of a king. I am a Christian. I am proud of it. I will not I won't shy away from that any day of the week.
Please don't.
Right? I'm a career insurance or financial professional. I am currently the agency manager at Marathon Insurance Brokers, and I lead a team of outstanding financial advisors.
All right.
So that is me in a nutshell.
All right. And I like the fact that you are a Christian because you see, for me,
Mhm.
I believe, yes, I know other persons can give good advice because they're trained,
Yes,
but you have an extra thing going for you. So you're not just a financial advisor, but
yes,
you are a Christian. Put the Christian first. A
yes, ma'am.
Christian financial advisor. So you're not only hearing from one place, you're hearing from another place, another
Fact,
voice, another
fact.
person, right? So Marvin, we want, let me say welcome to the Optimal You. I didn't even say that. Welcome to the Optimal You. Thank you for being a part of the inaugural stage of this program. Now, the question I want to ask is this because as a Christian, yes, we know we should budget and we should do all the wonderful things, but people advise and say, oh, speak to a financial advisor. Who is a financial advisor and why are they important to us as we move forward in becoming financially stable?
All right, let's put it this way. A financial advisor is a licensed professional, who is there to provide guidance to persons who are interested in financial wellness and wealth. So, in short, the financial advisor will act as your coach or your guide towards ensuring that you optimize on your finances and your financial plans. So I always say to persons, whilst we there are some things that we do for ourselves, certainly based on specialization and certainly based on expertise, we oftentimes find the need to invite professionals or trained personnel in a particular area to come and assist us. You know, I always say to persons, as a lot of us are what we call village lawyers, but if you certainly have a legal matter to sort out, it can be anything, probably even conveyancing. You will seek the advice of an attorney, right? Um, Even as a financial professional, I really don't because I'm not taxes is not my area. When I have my taxes to be done and stuff, I will call in or I'll bring in a professional on that side of the fence, right? And certainly, regardless of what our parents and our grandparents do, and we know the home remedies, when we have a little thing, we consult the doctor, right? It's a
True.
medical professional. So when you need somebody to kind of put you on a path to help you to grow, to find financial wellness, to get you to a place of financial stability, we oftentimes need to invite a trained professional who will help you to put structure to what it is that you're doing and to get you to where you so desire.
Right. So now that we understand that, right? Um, as a financial advisor, what would you consider as financial stability? If you're going to say somebody is stable financially, so you can say this person is stable. What do you use to make that decision or to make that conclusion that this person is financially stable? Because I could say I'm financially stable and I don't have no savings.
You
I
know,
could say I'm financially stable and
in Philippians 4, it speaks about the peace of God, that peace that surpasses all understanding. True? And financial, and when we talk about stability, then, one would want to think about someone where they are at peace with their finances. They have they are at a place of growth or they are in a stage of growing from one stage to the next. So the reality is that stability can take on some amount of subjectivity. So you may be able to say one person may be stable, but they are not at the point where somebody else is. So that they are, because of the fact that they are, give me, quick second. So sorry, Minister. I was just quickly letting in somebody there. Right. So because of the fact that different persons are at different points, stability may take on a completely different complexion or sort of a different. So stability is getting you to a place where you find competence, you are at peace, you are able to manage your resources, you're able to manage your finances, and you're in a place where all of the things that needs to be taken care of can be taken care of. Because of course, my needs may be a little different from yours, but if you can take care of all of your finances, and of course, so we have to be able to share out of our resources. So if we talk about being stable, you have to ensure that you can tithe, you have to ensure you can show your offering, you have to ensure you can bless somebody else, you have to ensure that you can take care of your family, the family that God would have given you, you know, given you stewardship over, and you can be able to take care of whatever needs to be taken care of, right? Because after all, the currency by which we trade in the natural is money, right? So we need that. So in a nutshell, I would say that financial stability is being able to take care of all of your financial needs comfortably.
All right. So operative word is comfortably.
I would say
The operative word is comfortably. So once you're able to take care of your financial needs comfortably, you're considered
yes,
to be financially stable.
yes.
Based on your experience, and it's kind of going back to the original, what you were saying originally in our conversation,
Mhm.
based on your experience as a Christian yourself and as a financial advisor,
Yes.
do you believe that Christians take their finances seriously? And whatever your response is, I'd like to know why you make that
All
conclusion.
right. Yes and no. I have heard. I know a lot of Christians who they take their finances seriously, but I believe that too many of us as Christians don't. And why I say that is they will a lot of us conveniently draw from scripture to tell you that, oh yes, why take worry about the things of tomorrow, and God will provide my needs according to his riches in glory. Yes, he will. But then there are just some principles by which we would have been given to live, to dominate and to take authority in the space that we are. And a lot of it is based on, or stewardship and such alike. So yes, some of us take it seriously, some of us don't take it as seriously. And I think too many of us don't take it as seriously.
I
Right?
like the term you use, You said our ability to dominate. I like that word, when you're talking in the Christendom here, dominate. Because I think a lot of times we sit back and we
Mhm.
allow the world to dominate. They do the businesses, they do the investments, they do all the things. And then we sit back and then we cry that we don't have, we lack, we this, we that. And it's not because we are not necessarily good with money. Well, it's not because we're not good with money, but we believe that, oh, this is not for the Christian, that is not for the Christian. Oh no, we shouldn't get involved in that. And we don't dominate, and we look like some little ants in society, while other persons, the world, they just expand and they just do and they just. So I like the word when you said dominate, because I believe we should dominate. I believe we should dominate, but I think if we don't have financial counsel, I don't think we're all gonna get it right.
You know, this, I tell people all the time, the Bible is pretty clear on finances.
Mm-hmm.
And we do, and it is something my colleague and friend, as you would know, Pastor Solomon, is something that he preaches. Christians should be the ones leading industry. Christians should be the ones leading the financial sector. Christians should be the
Listen.
ones driving the economy.
Mm-hmm.
And we are not doing so because we do not understand the authority within which we operate. That is one. And two, for some reason or the other, the enemy has us running scared. Oh, we don't want to dump, we don't want this, we don't want money to be involved in this, we don't want us to get corrupted by money. Money doesn't rule us, we rule money. Money don't control us, we control money. And
Mm.
if it is
Remember,
that,
let me cut you off there, Mr. Douglas, because the scripture says, is the love of money, it's not the money itself.
it's
Even
not
though when you
money.
become possessed by it until you're making decisions that is hurting and affecting people, or how you want to acquire it is where the problem lies. It's not the money. You can give me the
Yes.
money any day. I'm collecting.
Yes, man. If it is that we are going to, if it is that you're going to, just as how you're doing now,
Hmm.
you're reaching people all over the world. I it can't be free. It can't be free what you're doing. You have there's a studio there set up, all of the equipments that needs to be set up, and there
Yeah.
are a lot of expenses that goes into doing what you do. What are you going to say? Okay, I'm doing a good job and I'm doing the work of God, and because of that, I don't need money, or I don't need to plan, I don't need to have my finances in order.
Jesus.
Absolutely not. there
Mm-mm.
are there are some things that we always stand on. We talk about stewardship. There's about tithing and generosity. There's about, the Bible speaks about avoiding debt, right? In Proverbs 22 we talk about, the borrower is a slave to the lender. Why we are not the ones lending the money? How do we get to the point where we start lending the money? How do we get to a point where we are controlling the finances? I am
Listen.
saying it is going to start by education. It is going to start by us putting our finances in order. And that is where and how a financial advisor comes into play.
Mm, mm.
Talk about insurance and stuff. We talk about generational growth. Uh,
Wait, don't jump into those things yet, man. Hold on, because we're going to deal with those things later. Right now, we want to deal with the basic part. But let me take a moment here to invite our listeners, those who are listening on hggradio.ca, to jump on over to YouTube, send out the link, invite somebody to come on. Because listen, Christian needs to understand about financial stability. We need to know how the money thing go. We need to understand how to deal with our finances and not just leave it to fate, right? So jump on over, share the link. Go ahead right now, share the link and invite someone over. I want to say welcome to Stephanie and Camille as you've jumped on. Invite someone, man, and we want to get your feedback as well. So while you jump onto the YouTube, jump into the WhatsApp. Let us get your feedback as well as we have this discussion with Mr. Marvin Douglas, a financial advisor from, remind me of the name, um,
Marathon insurance brokers.
Marathon Insurance Brokers, right, guys? So let's come on now, Mister Douglas. Let's get down into something else here now. We are living in a very strenuous financial time. It's
True.
a lot is happening where finance is concerned. It's almost like money is has wings.
Yes.
So we're living in a time where it's really difficult. You have to be determined to save or to do anything for that matter, right? And I want to ask a question, not just for Jamaicans or Canadians or persons in the US, all over the world. Can we really and truly, and be honest with me right here, can we really and truly be financially stable in this harsh economical time?
The simple and straightforward answer is yes. All right. And let me put it like this. I'm an ardent sports person. I love sports. I played sports. And from the just concluded Olympics, once it comes on to the track and field, that's Jamaica's, right? We see our athletes, and let us go back to Mr. Bolt himself. We oftentimes during his A day, during competition, we see Usain go out on the track and we see him do some stuff, and we are like, wow, that is simply amazing.
Mhm.
How did he get there?
Practice.
It's practice. It's practice, 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 and this practice adds structure to it. There are specific training times. There are specific things that he would have had to do over time. And I'm saying we can draw a parallel with our finances. So we can get to the point where we dominate our finances as Bolt dominated the track. But we will get there through a series of structured things being implemented. How do we spend? Based on what we earn, how do we invest? So I said all of that to say yes, we can get to a point of financial stability, But to think that you're going to snap your fingers and it is going to be like poof,
Well, that would be nice, isn't it?
or whilst our Lord and Savior has the ability just to say, all right, blessings, finances, fix, and we're good, right? You and I know that based on his principles and stuff, we must be diligent. We must show, we must put things in place. And he will then say, okay, I have seen your faithfulness, I've seen your discipline, I've seen your diligence, and you'll be duly rewarded. Right? Just like how you prepare for an exam, you're going to prepare for your finances. And as I said, it starts, it can get back to you inviting or you seeing a licensed professional, a trained professional who will sit you down and say, hey, listen, let us take a look at where we are now and what constitutes financial stability for you, minister. Yes, and that will be for anybody, right? And then we say, okay, let us create a roadmap to getting you from point A to point B. This is what we're going to do. You're going to pay yourself first,
Oh, I
right?
like that part. That part is a
You're going
nice
to pay
part.
yourself first, aka save. You know that okay, $100.
Hold on a minute, Mr. Douglas. Stop a minute. Because something is not matching up here. Because growing up, I hear that you pay yourself. But when we talk about paying ourselves, it's not saving. Because you say AKA, and AKA mean otherwise known as.
Yes,
But
yes.
when I grew up, growing up, I hear about, I wonder if anybody else knows this. When I hear about paying myself, it means I go and buy something nice for myself, buy a good food, buy a nice outfit or something first out of the money. That's not what that paying myself.
All right.
That's not what paying
So we're throwing, so we're busting that myth first, right? That is not paying yourself.
Hold on a minute. I wonder if there's anybody else on HGG had that misconception because it could not only be me. It could not only be me. I'm the only person that saw that paying yourself mean you buy yourself a good solid food if you was eating dry food all along. You buy yourself a good food out of your pay or buy yourself a nice outfit or something and then the rest of money disseminate wherever it's supposed to go. Hold on a minute. All right, go ahead, Mr. Douglas, because it look like I'm the only person with that
So
notion.
we, no man, it's just that we're not just that some of us, the others of us, we're not going to readily jump up and say it. After the program, they will say, boy, but minister, me the things that you know. But then guess what? We speak about delayed gratification, right? Putting in the work in order to get better at the back end, right? Just to digress a little, I was sharing with my pastor that going back through Matthew 25, when I read it the other day, I got a new revelation. I never saw it like that. When it spoke about the 10 virgins, what just consider in the natural the kind of burden and distress that the five wise virgins would have had to go through in terms of carrying extra load. Carrying extra load. Just imagine what they would have to carry the rest of them oil in and whatever it is. While the other people were just a spend money, just a live free, just a walk with them
Mm.
nice little lamp and just figure, say, all right, this is going to last forever. But then the burden that they would have carried in terms of the extra oil, then it becomes benefit to them afterwards. So when you pay yourself, remember, you and I don't intend to work all the days of our lives. What happens after we have gotten to the point where we want to just sit down and relax a little because either strength doesn't allow us to do what we used to do every day? Then what?
But that cannot come out of the after money, right? You see, I'm not the only person. The person's there's on YouTube saying
After
the
money,
same thing.
right?
Is the after so after I pay myself like something nice and stuff, then oh my, well, I
All right.
learned
So,
something today.
and then guess what the harsh reality is? All right. We're not going to tell everybody. Usually there's no after money. after we have paid the bills and the children go to school and we pay the mortgage or the rent, the car note has to be paid, all of the little things around the yard, the incidentals, the miscellaneous things has to be done, and we pay all of that, then usually there is no. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to recheck and I'm going to correct myself. You see, before you pay yourself, let us just do God's business. All right. Let us just take out that little tithe money there and
Yeah, man,
set
that's a
that aside.
must. Mm-hmm.
So I was working on the premise that we have already done that, but I said let me not leave it to chance. Let us be clear on it. Cool. We
Yeah.
take out that amount and then we pay ourselves. We take out the savings and then you budget the difference.
So you're saying the harsh economical conditions don't stop you from doing what you're supposed to
No,
do.
man, it doesn't, man. 10% is 10%, 10% on $10 is different from 10% on $100, but it is 10%. The principle remains. It's 10%.
So what you're saying, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, because what you're saying is that the harsh financial conditions that we are faced with in this time, with all the expensive things and the food, and it don't stop us from getting to a place of financial stability.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't. The reality is that some persons may get to that place a little quicker than others,
Mm.
but it does not stop any of us from getting there. And
One
just
of
when you
our,
can think about just about anything else in life, the principle
mm,
remains the same.
Lorna D says that, well, Stephanie and Lorna D said that they heard that you pay yourself first, you take care of yourself first. But Lorna D is saying pay yourself can be anything. Don't stop from investing in tomorrow. I started my pension and investment when I was earning minimum wage.
Correct.
I just leave out unnecessary things. All right. Okay.
Comes
All
back
right.
to the discipline that we spoke about
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
Very
Right.
good, very good job, man.
Oh, you're getting commendations. Let me say no. So I'm saying that I get what Lorna D is saying there now kind of goes to the question I'm about to ask. Because earlier in my life, younger, and I was sharing with the HGG family earlier on the station that I was I was one of those persons who thought I couldn't save. But later on in life, the Lord allowed me to face circumstances where I learned that I actually could, right? And some persons might be saying financially, where I'm at the rock bottom right here now, I owe people, I have bills, and so I don't see myself um ever getting to a place of stability. Does a person state, and we're not talking about the economic state now, I'm talking about all the pressures that they have to deal with. So they have the
Yes.
rent. Everything is on them. They have the rent. They have the well, they're on the car. So let's say they're on walk foot. So they have no. They have the rent or the mortgage. They have the food bill. They have all the bills. Everything is on them. Can that person be financially stable? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can.
They always say when you hit rock bottom, there's only one direction to go, and that's up.
Okay.
True?
Um.
As versed as you are in word and in your finances, no. You just admitted that you weren't always there.
No.
What allowed you to get there?
Circumstances.
Circumstances,
Yeah,
right?
my back was against the wall and I had
Cool.
no money.
Cool. And sometimes it is the circumstances that we are faced with that it's just the reality of the circumstances that kind of drape us up and say, all right, look here, hold on. You have to do something about this.
True.
But you have come here as a blessing to say to others, don't wait until you get to that position that I was in. It can happen now. But we are also cautioning you that, like with most things in life, In order to get to a particular point, there are some things that you will have to put in place, and you will have to be disciplined about it.
That's the
So,
main thing.
so the reality is that wherever you are at this point, one can sit down and a plan can be put in place to say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Sometimes it's about consolidating some debts, and after you'd have consolidated those debts, now you start paying one loan as opposed to three different loans. You start putting a little here, you start putting a little there. We look at probably some of the things that we would have done. One of the listeners said earlier there were some unnecessaries that they would have cut out, right? Instead of what you consider treating yourself, instead of you every time you get paid you buy three burgers, you say all right, but it really not help me one way or the other to buy three, so guess what, I may be better served buying one, and the other two, instead of me just throwing away that money, make me figure out a way how to save and invest that money. There's this notion that if we are going to be investing monies, we have to have large sums to begin with and thing, which is all just a misconception. And as I say, it is just a case of sitting with, you probably don't even have to start with a financial advisor, it would be great. But sometimes you can start with a friend, you can start with a colleague, a family member, right? Who may be able to agree with you, come in agreement with you to say, all right, look here, we need to fix this. And then it would lead to getting professional assistance in terms
Mm,
of the things that you will put in place. So yes, regardless of where you are at this point, I'm saying everybody won't get to stability in the same period of time, because some people's situation just quite frankly worse than others. Some people's situation are more chronic, right? Everybody that goes into the hospital don't necessarily come out same time
that's
or
true.
even the same way. But the whole intent of it is that everybody will come out better. And I'm saying, regardless of where you are, consider discipline, consider structure, consider speaking to an advisor, and consider just asking the Holy Spirit to help you be disciplined at what you're doing, because it will take some amount of consistency and structure for you to get to a place of change, and in this case a place of financial stability
Hmm. The bottom line is that word, discipline in everything.
in everything.
Discipline is key in everything. And as we seek to optimize the man, the person, the holistic person, we want to optimize spiritually, we want to optimize mentally, and we want to optimize physically. And a part of the optimization as it relates to the physical side of things or the mental side of things is our finances, you know? And Lorna D says that out of her savings, she was able to buy her house.
There you
She said she was
go.
able to buy her house. And I think discipline is, listen, here's a reality. Even though Mr. Douglas say you can start with a friend or family member or church friend or whatever. My thing, is if you need care, if you've been struggling and you need care, seek advice. Get a financial advisor. You
Get a
might
financial
know how
advisor.
much it's gonna cost. Like just like the what the thing that they put on the energy saver thing there on your roof. What's it called again?
Solar panels.
Solar panel. The immediate cost is painful, but the long-term benefit, beautiful. You understand? So immediately, no, we may feel like it's gonna cost to get a financial advisor and something, but look at how stable, how it's gonna help you to become stable. In closing, Mr. Douglas, I want to ask you something because people, this is not the last time we're gonna be talking to someone from Marathon, right? This is just the first conversation. I want to ask you, Mr. Douglas,
Sure.
what advice would you give to a Christian who does not give attention to their finances? They don't pay it any mind. They don't think it's important. They don't think it's important to invest. They don't think it's important to save. They just believe in eating and sleeping. Just as a, just using that to say. What
In
advice
sim-
would you
in
guys?
simple terms, fix it.
Mhm.
Fix it. But how do you fix it is what is it would be the cause of concern or the major thing here. All right. Now we have to take a good look at our faith and our desire to truly follow Christ. And if that is the case, then we are also called to be financially responsible.
Faithful
We
stewards.
have to be financially responsible. And we're going to do that by fixing it. We're going to do that by contacting a professional, a financial advisor who is going to help us to become better stewards of our finances, is going to help us to put some structure to our finances. It is going to start with a desire to be better, a desire to become financially independent, a desire to become financially stable, right? Once you have said desire, right, you are it goes without saying that with everything that we're doing, that we're going to commit it to God,
Yes.
right? We're going to commit it to God, but we are going to fix it by consulting a financial advisor who is going to help us put some structure to our finances and put a roadmap in place in order to get us from point A to point B. That is it without us having to get into the intricacies, because when we in order to get into the intricacies, we would have to be able to just do what we refer to as a fact finding to see where you are and what it is that your desires are, and how, and prepare a plan to get you there. But we will fix it by one consulting a financial advisor who will help us to put a plan in place in order to change our circumstances in terms of our finances.
Wow, that was a mouthful today, and I learned something more than one thing today, where as it relates to financial stability. Mr. Douglas, if anyone that is listening, whether on YouTube here or in the app on HGG Radio, where can we find somebody, a financial agent for Marathon? Where can we find you?
All right. So Marathon is located at we have 6 branches or 5 branches across the island, but our head office, we're at 46 Trinidad Terrace in New Kingston. Everybody, you see, once you go online and you put in Marathon Insurance Brokers, it will just jump out at you. As a matter of fact, what I will also do is I am going to ensure that we get some of our social media handles and some of our contact numbers out to you, that you can actually share. Realities that I don't have all of that off the top of my head, but Marathon Insurance Brokers, we are pretty easy to find if you
Well,
go
feel free
online.
to, yeah, feel free to drop it in. Go online when we're done, and you can go in the chat, and
Mhm.
you can drop that information there so we can find. Because persons, even those who are overseas, what if persons are overseas? Can they also use your services? A
Yeah,
marathon.
certainly for persons, we have persons overseas that actually benefit from what we do,
Lovely.
and just as a plug, Marathon Insurance Brokers, we are a full service brokerage, so we go across the entire spectrum of insurance related business, to include auto, motor, property, liability, just about any and everything that can be insured. So when you are ready to insure your jet, you can talk to me. I'll ensure that I have something in place. You just have to say you receive it at this point.
Right.
You don't even have to worry about how it is coming. Just receive it. And we are also in terms of our life and insurance arm and our investments, we have a plethora of partners, to include some international companies. One that a lot of people know, Lloyd's of London, that we do business with. Lots of investments, lots of insurance and such that persons can use to move them to a place of financial stability.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. Douglas, for joining us on the Optimal You, because our aim, this is our desire to be well, fully well, to be able to give the Lord 110% well in our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. And part on being financially stable is a part of that. We know that we come back next week, God's willing, to have further discussions on this matter of financial stability. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. And we look forward to another discussion next week, should God permit.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you much for having me.
Thank you, sir. Blessings.